your roadmap to the latest in auto. Welcome to Highway Herald. California has long been a leader in economic innovation and cultural influence, from Silicon Valley's tech revolution to Hollywood's global impact. Now, a new debate is gaining traction. Calexit, the potential secession of California from the US. Once a fringe idea, it has become a serious political discussion. Could California really break away and thrive independently? With a massive economy and a distinct political stance, its future is uncertain. Today we explore 7 key factors shaping California's potential path to sovereignty. Key factor number 7, California's economic powerhouse. Can it stand alone? California is an economic powerhouse with a GDP nearing $4 trillion, surpassing the United Kingdom and ranking as the world's 5th largest economy. Home to tech giants like Apple and Google, Hollywood's billion-dollar industry, and a massive agricultural sector, its financial strength is undeniable. But could it sustain itself as an independent nation? Secession would require renegotiating trade agreements with the US and global partners while replacing federal funding for infrastructure, disaster relief, and defense. Tax policies would need restructuring, raising concerns about economic stability and the impact on middle and lower-income residents. California's economy is deeply tied to national and global trade regulations, making independence a complex challenge. Would it maintain dominance as a global economic force, or would the transition create instability? These uncertainties lie at the heart of the Calexit debate. Key factor number 6, a deepening political divide. Is separation inevitable? America's political landscape has never been more polarized, and California often finds itself on the opposite end of federal policy decisions. From progressive immigration policies to aggressive climate regulations, the Golden State has consistently pushed back against Washington's directives, carving out its own path on multiple fronts. Election after election, California voters have distanced themselves from the broader national political climate. Many residents feel disconnected from federal leadership, fueling sentiments that secession is not just desirable, but necessary. If this political divide continues to widen, could California reach a point of no return, where breaking away from the Union becomes inevitable? Beyond ideological differences, the friction between California and the federal government extends to taxation, legislation, and resource allocation. If this discontent keeps growing, could it spark a legitimate movement toward political separation? Key factor number 5, immigration policy conflicts, a borderline issue. Immigration is a major point of contention between California and the federal government. As one of the most immigrant-friendly states, California has adopted sanctuary city policies that defy federal enforcement, sparking legal battles and threats to cut funding. Cities like Los Angeles and San Francisco have resisted Washington's immigration mandates, intensifying the divide. If California were to secede, it would need to establish its own immigration policies. Would it uphold its progressive stance, or would the realities of nationhood demand stricter controls? Secession would require new border security measures, visa agreements, and citizenship laws. Immigration is also vital to California's economy, supporting industries from agriculture to tech. Would independence create labor shortages or a more flexible migration system? Additionally, how would California's immigration policies affect its diplomatic relations with neighboring countries? These questions add complexity to the Calexit debate. Before we delve deeper, we'd appreciate it if you could subscribe to Highway Herald. Your support fuels our passion to create more content like this. Now let's explore key factor number 4, climate policy wars. Can California lead without federal backing? California leads the nation in environmental policy, enforcing strict emissions regulations, advancing renewable energy, and setting ambitious climate goals. However, these efforts often clash with federal policies that prioritize oil and gas. Independence would allow California to expand its green initiatives, potentially positioning itself as a global sustainability leader. However, this freedom comes with challenges. Secession would mean losing federal disaster relief, which helps combat wildfires, droughts, and other natural crises. Could California sustain its environmental reforms without federal support? Additionally, independence could open doors for a state-controlled green energy market, attracting global investment in sustainable technology. But could an independent California accelerate the transition to renewable energy, or would economic constraints slow its momentum? Balancing financial stability with environmental ambition would be one of the state's biggest challenges in a post-secession world. Key factor number 3, the constitutional challenge. Can California legally break away? California's path to independence faces major legal obstacles. Unlike other nations with clear processes for regions to seek sovereignty, the U.S. Constitution does not allow for unilateral secession. Any move toward independence would face opposition from Congress, the Supreme Court, and the President. Historically, secession has been met with resistance, most notably during the Civil War, which reinforced the federal government's commitment to unity. The Texas versus White 1869 ruling confirmed that states cannot secede without congressional approval, making California's exit unlikely. Beyond legality, practical concerns arise. What would happen to federal lands, military bases, and government infrastructure? Could the U.S. retaliate economically, cutting off trade and security resources? Investor uncertainty could spark financial instability. Without national and international recognition, California's independence movement could stall in legal limbo. Would Californians endure such a prolonged and difficult battle? Key factor number 2, the ripple effect. How would secession impact the nation and the world? If California seceded, the impact would extend far beyond its borders. The U.S. would lose its most economically significant state, affecting federal tax revenue, agriculture, and technology sectors. How would Washington fill the financial gap? Could new policies offset the loss? On the global stage, California would become a key trade player, attracting partnerships from China, Japan, and the EU. However, negotiating new agreements could be challenging amid global uncertainty. Secession might also encourage other states, like Texas, to pursue independence, potentially fracturing the U.S. While Texas has economic strength, it lacks California's global influence. Geopolitically, Calexit raises defense concerns. Would California join international coalitions or remain neutral? The U.S. would need to address military bases and national security ties. These uncertainties could reshape both domestic stability and global relations. Key factor number 1, a divided state. Would all of California support independence? While urban centers like Los Angeles and San Francisco support Calexit, rural regions in Northern and Central California may resist, creating internal divisions. Would secession fracture the state, with some areas pushing for independence while others remain with the U.S.? Beyond politics, urban areas rely on tech and entertainment, while rural regions depend on agriculture and manufacturing. Could they find common ground, or would they seek separate governance? Infrastructure and resources such as highways, energy, and water are deeply integrated with the U.S., and rural areas depend on federal funding. Additionally, the State of Jefferson movement, which seeks to form a separate state, complicates matters. If California secedes, could Jefferson advocates push for further division? Without unified statewide support, internal conflicts could weaken or derail the independence movement before it gains traction. Final verdict: a bold vision or an unreachable dream? The idea of an independent California is as ambitious as it is controversial. While the concept of Calexit has gained momentum, the obstacles are immense, from legal battles to economic uncertainty, internal divisions, and global geopolitical challenges. Is California truly prepared to take on these risks in pursuit of sovereignty? One thing is certain: Calexit is no longer just a fringe idea, it's a conversation that could have lasting implications on the United States and beyond. But is it a vision of the future or just an unrealistic dream? What do you think? Could California successfully break away and forge its own path? Or would the challenges prove too great? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Highway Herald for more in-depth automotive and political analysis. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.